Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Double Z Playing and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I am going to be showing you guys how you can make your very own locally hosted free Minecraft server. So let's hop right in. So let's get started on our desktop. It doesn't have to be in your desktop. I'm going to do it on my desktop just because it's easier, but this is a super simple process. So you're just going to want to right click, click new, and folder. Bam. Bada bing. Okay, I'm going to name it my server. You can name it whatever you want. And now we've got that there. Let's just put that somewhere where it's easier to see. Right there on my little face. And now we're just going to open this folder. Sorry, I got two screens opened on there. And we're going to right click again and we're going to do new text document. And you can just call this run. And so you're going to want to make sure that you can see that .txt. If you can't, just come over here to the view tab and make sure that file name extensions is checked. If it's not, then you see it just doesn't show that. And yeah, okay. Something is going on my desktop. Okay, so now you are going to go into run.txt, just double click, and I'm going to leave these codes in the description and just do that. So this is for a server that uses 1 GB of RAM. I will post up to 5 GB of RAM, the different code for them. But I recommend if you have a lower quality computer, you go with the lower ones because it's actually using your processing power from the computer. So I do apologize if my Minecraft gameplay footage is a bit glitchy after we do this because, you know, it's got to run Minecraft and the recording software and the actual server. But now we can just save it. I did Control S. You can also come up here, File, Save. Perfect. Now we can close that. So now we're going to edit this. We're going to keep that run, but we're going to come over here and we're going to make the txt run.bat. Just click yes. And so now we've got the file that's actually going to run our server, but we need the version file. So there's two ways that you can do this. So come on over to your web browser of choice. I'm using Google Chrome. And then in the search bar, look up paper. And then after that, Minecraft server. And then you're just going to have paper.mc.io. So you can also just at the top do paper.mc.io. So what paper is it's basically an advanced version of Minecraft. So you can have a vanilla server, which runs on the same version that we have on the launcher. There's stuff like Spigot, Bucket, and Paper, which are modified versions of that let you use plugins, and they just make it faster. So they're all pretty much the same thing. Paper's just the next gen, and as it says here, it's stupid fast. Yeah. So you definitely want to use Paper. Even if you aren't going to be putting plugins on, this will just let your server run so much faster. So I really recommend you get it. We're just going to go over here to downloads, and you can download whatever you want. I want Paper 1.16.4, so I'm already here. If you want 1.15, whatever. Waterfall, that's just for multiple versions, but we're just going to download this, and we're going to wait for it to fully download, and it's going to give you this little error. It's going to give you this little warning over here. As long as it's paper.jar and you got it from this website, click keep. Now we're going to do show in folder. We can close the web browser, and you're just going to drop that in here, and we can just name it paper. And so now our server is ready to go. And while this may not look like much, once we double click on this run.bat file, which will start our server up, here I'll move these. As you can see, it starts automatically creating these files for us. So it'll just take a second to load all of this, so I'll cut to that. And so this is what the end result should look like. You'll have these two warnings. That's fine, that's perfect. I'm just going to click enter. And now what we have to do is we have to come into this eula.txt, just change that false to true, save it, either Control S or File Save, and then we can close that. The EULA is basically a term of use for Minecraft servers, But next, we've only got one step left, and so you're going to want to come down here, type to search, and write CMD. So that's going to open up something called command prompt. Just click enter. And so we've got this interface. It's basically the same thing that we used to launch that, but now we're just going to write ipconfig. No, oh wow, I did not spell that right. So that's just ipconfig, and it's going to give you a whole bunch of this stuff, and you're not going to need any of it except for right here where it says IPv4 address. Sometimes you might get something that looks more like this up here. You just want this, a string of 4 digits. Now your IPv4 address will probably look different than mine does, and that is perfect. So we're just going to highlight, whoopsies. We're going to highlight this and copy, and we're going to come back here, and we're going to enter server properties. So I have an app on here called CodeWriter. It's a really easy, free app to use. But most of you will probably just be using Notes for this. But I'm just going to open it up in here. Honestly, you know what? Let's just open it in Notepad so you guys can see how it'll probably look. So you'll have a bunch of this stuff. And we are going to look for server IP right here. So you're just going to paste that string of numbers that we copied, the IPv4 address. Remember to save it with Control S or save up there. So now we can just close this, and we'll hit our run.bat again. It'll start loading libraries, which basically means it's just starting up. So I'll cut to when this is all loaded. And so as you can see, a lot of stuff just popped in here out of the blue. That's just the server generating all of its stuff. And so yeah, you're going to start getting a lot of stuff in here. You don't need to really touch any of this. All you need to know is the run.bat and the server properties. Those are the two most vital stuff. There's also the plugins. So in here you'd put your plugins and the world, which we'll cover soon. And so it looks like our server is pretty much loaded up. So let's head back into Minecraft. We're going to go into multiplayer, and you can do direct connect or add server. For right now, I'm just going to do direct connect. And here you're going to paste your IPv4 address again. I'm going to click join server. Sometimes it may take a while, so you can just reload that if you want. And so now we're in the server. I appear to be having a slight glitch. That's fine. Yeah, it says unable to find spawn biome. So we'll just leave this. But that's actually kind of perfect for the next thing that I want to show you guys. So we're just going to stop the server. You should don't close this, otherwise it can totally glitch out the server. Always just write stop, and it will stop the server. It's important that you stop the server that way, otherwise you can glitch it out. So we're just going to wait, and you don't want to close it until it gives you this. Press any key to continue. And so now, let's say you have a Minecraft world that you want to put on the server. No problem. Let's do that right now. So first you're going to want to press Windows key and then R. So it's going to show up this little thing down here. So we're going to write %app data %/.minecraft. And then we can hit enter. And then we're going to get a bunch of this stuff. You might not have all of the folders that I have in here. You know, I run Optifine and some other stuff on here, and like replay mod. But you're just going to want to head on down to saves, and then in here you're going to have all your different worlds. So let's see. The world that I was playing on is called Server World. So we are going to come back over here. We are going to delete the world, and we're going to delete all these world files. Okay, yeah, goodbye. And then we're going to drag this folder right into here, and we're going to have to rename it to world, no uppercase, just world. And then you can reload this if you want, it'll be up there. And then we can close that. And so now we are going to click the run.bat. yet again, and we're just going to wait for our server to load. Now, some important information about the server while we wait for it to load. You won't be able to have other people join this server unless you do something called port forwarding. Now, here's the problem with port forwarding. When you do that, it basically lets your computer and your router be susceptible to hacking. So I'm not going to be doing that on mine just because I don't need to do that. That is the one downside to having this. You're going to want some protection on that if you're going to do port forwarding. So really the best thing to be able to use this server for is testing. Say you're on like an SMP server, you know, like the Zap. Check it out, videos down below. And you want to build a redstone contraption. Redstone on servers can be slightly different, so this might be a great place to test it. If you just want something where you can test out plugins and stuff, also great option. But our server is ready, so let's go back into Minecraft. We're going to come back in here, and our server has loaded up. It's not exactly where I was before, but that's just because that was the spawn point, and I moved slightly further to find that plains biome. But I mean, already this is so much smoother than a regular server thanks to that paper. Occasionally, you know, it might take longer to load just because we're only using 1 GB of RAM, and you know, I'm running a bunch of other stuff on my computer right now. But we have this. I'm also in creative because I was in creative in that world. But let's see if we can't change our game mode or anything. We can't do commands if, you know, that's what you want to be able to do on your server. So let's go see how we can do that. So to do that, you have to be opt, or you have to be an operator. And so to do that, that's just really simple. We're going to come back here to our console, and we're just going to write op, and then your gamer tag. Oopsies, I don't have a F at the end of my thing. And so now we are back in the game. It says server, made Z playing operator, and now we can do all of the commands. So yeah, that's really great. My Wi-Fi is not that great apparently. But that is how you can op yourself on a server, add your world to a server. It's definitely a really helpful trick. And we've got a couple final things to do. Now, whether you're running a server from your computer or you're on a hosting company, this part is going to be the same. So over here, you're going to notice that we have this gray image and my server, a Minecraft server. My server, that's just what I called it when I added the server. But then this, a Minecraft server, how do we change that? Well, let's do that right now. So back in here, to change a Minecraft server, we're going to go into server.properties. In this server.properties, there's a lot of things that we can change about the server. First thing, you know, forced game mode, that's false. Allow nether, enforce whitelist. Right here, this game mode equals survival, that shows you that's like the default game mode for anybody that comes in. Broadcast console ops, true, enable query, blah blah blah. You know, we've got the difficulty. We've got spawn monsters, whether PvP is allowed, if it's in hardcore, enable structures, enable command block. You know what, maybe let's just make that true. And remember to save all this stuff. This is the max players, so back in Minecraft, you can see 0 out of 20. If we edit this to 100, it'll allow us to put in 100. You may think that that's like a little get around on the servers that you buy. It's like, you know, $5 a month for 20 players, and then you do that, it'll usually revert. I'll say this, those server companies are not stupid. You know, max world size, all this stuff. Server IP, which we had. Allow flight, which is if somebody's fly hacking, if it's false, then they'll get kicked, and you'll get like notification, or if you put it true, like you're on an anarchy server. A bunch of other stuff, if there is even a whitelist. But we're coming down here to MOTD, moded. That stands for message of the day, and that's what we've got down here. So we can change this to, you know, Z's server, but it'll still stay that gray. So how do we change that? Well, there are something called moded color codes. So I'm going to pull up a picture of those right now, and they basically let us change the color of our MOTD. So here's a website, I'll link it in the description, where it's got all the codes. So let's say we want the double Z's part to be purple. We just copy this. We come back here, and we put that right there. And while that may look like gibberish, it's completely fine. And let's say we want to underline it. We'll copy that, and we'll come back to code writer, and we'll put that there. Anything that's like underline or bold or strike through stuff, you want to make sure that that's the one that's closest to the word. Let's make server dark red, and maybe we can add a glitch effect around. So instead of just showing yay here, it will be right over here. Oops, he's not in front of moded, so yay. Okay, the glitch effect, and that'll be light cyan. Actually, you know what, let's go with dark cyan. And then we can copy that. Oopsies. We can copy that on the other side. So we'll have that kind of thing. And remember to save it with Control S or file save. And then we can close that, close this, and then we can go back into Minecraft. And there's no difference, right? Well, what we can do is one over here, we do reload. It's going to have us confirm, reload, confirm. I recommend you don't reload if you have plugins, because it can mess up some plugins. If you have data packs on, that's fine. Okay, reload complete. Let's go back into Minecraft. Still nothing. We refresh, and ta-da! We've got this glitch effect around, and double Z's server. Amazing. So now you're wondering, what's this? How do I change that image? So since we don't have what's called a server icon, it just gives us this automatic one. You can change that with a resource pack, what the automatic thing is, but we're just going to change it on the server side. And so your server icon is going to have to be 64 by 64 pixels. So let's just take this. So this is the Zap SMP logo, which, you know, that's what is on the Zap. Here, let me show you guys. So it's 1.16.3, so we can't connect, but that's what it looks like. It's like a tree with the Zap SMP on top. So let's say that you have an image already, but it's too large. How are you going to fix that? I believe my Zap logo there was also a bit too large. Well, head on over to Photoshop, or if you don't have it, go to photopea.com, just like in my last tutorial on how to make Minecraft thumbnails, and click Open from Computer. Now, where this is will depend on where you put your logo, but mine is on my desktop, so we're going to click Zap SMP logo, and then we're going to come up here to image. We're going to do image size, and it's already 64 by 64, but say yours is larger, make the width 64, height 64, okay, and then you can download it by going File, Export As, and then make sure it's a PNG. However, even if your image is 64 by 64, make sure it is a PNG. Mine is a JPEG, so we're going to export it as a PNG, save, perfect. Okay, so since it's downloaded, it should be in our downloads folder. Right click over there, click download, and perfect. So we're actually going to rename this to server-icon. Make sure it looks just like that, otherwise it will not work. Then we can just throw it right in here, close that downloads, do another reload, or if you are running some plugins, then make sure you just stop the server and then restart it. Reload complete, go back into Minecraft, refresh, and what do you know, it has the Zap logo. So that is a very basic version of how to run your own locally hosted Minecraft server. I hope you guys learned from this. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want more tutorials like this, make sure to let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to look out for some streams. I may be streaming Among Us soon with some of the members of the Zap. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Twitch channel, because I may be streaming on there, or I may be streaming on YouTube. So with that, I have nothing else left to say. I really hope you enjoyed this video and learned from it. Once again, if you did, please leave a like down below, and if you want more videos like this, consider subscribing, because I have got weekly content with tutorials and fun Let's Plays for you all. So, Double Z, out.